Hey, it's me, Daily Dan, and I'm here to do a daily deal summon. And let me tell you, if I get a worm print, I'm gonna turn into Deadly Dan. Actually, my name's Tim. I'm gonna cease that Channel Awesome bit, because things that make me think about Channel Awesome make me sad. I've been staying up until 2 a.m. every day to do a daily deal. In a way, it fixed my sleep schedule, which is somewhat sad. I should probably stop doing it. But for one last triumphant night, let's just go out there, consume, and hopefully get a good thing instead of a bad thing. Okay. Okay, there aren't any signs of it being a good thing. Got surprised. See, it did the no good thing, and then it gave me a good thing. Oh! Genuine gamer excitement here. Shit, is that good? That is very good, actually. I feel kind of guilty for having all that sarcasm, because a good thing happened. You know, maybe I'm gonna bring this Daily Dan character into the mainstream. Okay, so, put that in your bonnet, Vonnegut. That's gonna be my outro. Bye. An excerpt from Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. I stand at the window of this great house in the south of France as night falls, the night which is leading me to the most terrible morning of my life. I have a drink in my hand, there's a bottle at my elbow. I watch my reflection in the darkening gleam of the window pane. My reflection is tall, perhaps rather like an arrow. My blonde hair gleams. My face is like a face you have seen many times. My ancestors conquered continent, pushing across death-laden plains until they came to an ocean which faced away from Europe into a darker past. I may be drunk this morning, but that will not do any good. I shall take the train to Paris anyway. The train will be the same. The people, struggling for comfort and even dignity on the straight-backed wooden third-class seats, will be the same, and I'll be the same. We will ride through the same changing countryside northward, leaving behind the olive trees and the sea and all of the glory of the stormy southern sky into the mist and rain of Paris. Someone will offer to share a sandwich with me. Someone will offer me a sip of wine. Someone will ask me for a match. People will be roaming the corridors outside, looking out of windows, looking in at us. At each stop, recruits in their baggy brown uniforms and colored hats will open the compartment door to ask complay. We will all nod yes, like conspirators, smiling faintly at each other as they continue through the train. 2 or 3 of them will end up before our compartment door, shouting at each other in their heavy, ribald voices, smoking their dreadful army cigarettes. There will be a girl sitting opposite me who will wonder why I have not been flirting with her, who will be set on edge by the presence of the recruits. It will all be the same, only I will be stiller. And the countryside is still tonight, this countryside reflected through my image in the pane. This house is just outside a summer resort, which is still empty. The season has not yet begun. It is on a small hill. One can look down on the lights of the town and hear the thud of the sea. My girl Hella and I rented it in Paris from photographs some months ago. Now she has been gone a week. She's on the high seas now, on our way back to America. I can see her, very elegant, tense, and glittering, surrounded by the light which fills the salon of the ocean liner, drinking rather too fast and laughing, and watching the men. That's how I met her. In a bar in Saint-Germain-des-Prés, she was drinking and watching, and that was why I liked her. I thought she would be fun to have fun with. That was how it began. That was all it meant to me. I'm not sure now, in spite of everything, that it ever really meant more than that to me. And I don't think it ever really meant more than that to her, at least not until she made that trip to Spain and, finding herself there alone, began to wonder, perhaps if a lifetime of drinking and watching men was exactly what she wanted. But it was too late by that time. I was already with Giovanni. I'd asked her to marry me before she went away to Spain, and she laughed and I laughed, but that somehow all the same made it more serious for me, and I persisted, and then she said she would have to go away and think about it. And that was the very last night she was here, the very last time I saw her, and she was packing her bag. I told her that I had loved her once, and I made myself believe it. But I wonder if I had. I was thinking, no doubt, of our nights in bed, of the peculiar innocence and confidence which will never come again, which had made those nights so delightful, so unrelated to past, present, or anything to come, so unrelated, finally, to my life, since it was not necessary for me to take any but the most mechanical responsibility for them. And these nights were being acted out under a foreign sky, with no one to watch, no penalties attached. It was this last fact which was our undoing, for nothing is more unbearable once one has it than freedom. I suppose this is why I asked her to marry me, to give myself something to be moored to. Perhaps this was why in Spain she decided that she wanted to marry me. People can't unhappily invent their mooring posts, their lovers and their friends, any more than they can invent their parents. Life gives these and also takes them away, and the great difficulty is to say yes to life. I was thinking, when I told Hella that I had loved her, of those days before anything awful, irrevocable had happened to me, when an affair was nothing more than an affair. Now, from this night, this coming morning, no matter how many beds I find myself in between now and my final bed, I shall never be able to have any more of those boyish, zestful affairs which are really, when one thinks of it, a kind of higher, or anyway more pretentious masturbation. People are too various to be treated lightly. I am too various to be trusted. If this were not so, I would not be alone in this house tonight. Hella would not be on the high seas, and Giovanni would not be about to perish sometime between this night and this morning on the guillotine.